Hey guys, welcome back to Filter Coffee Football. Matching kits today, me and Karthik, and I am enjoying something not well. This has coffee in it, but it's Kung Fu
Kung
tea.
Fu tea.
Not a brand placement, but I mean, if you guys want to pay us for advertising, yeah,
I know.
really delicious.
Send us kits. Send us Arsenal kits, please. Size
um,
XL.
Excel, wow, I'm usually get medium kits. Anyway, digressing from the main point, 2-1 victory against the team that sort of set the tone for our opening of the season, Brentford. They didn't manage to claw a goal back in the end. And of course, right now our experience is a little bit soured because Spurs got some very, very important 3 points. Now they're still 3 points behind us, but there is also the North London derby. So that match
True.
just got even more important if it wasn't already. There are only reasonably close top four contenders at this point because United, even though they are ahead of us, matches in hand, assuming we even get 1 point in each of those matches, we still go above them. Uh, so yeah, that Spurs one. Really, I know I spoke to Karthik a few minutes before we started recording. It really ticking him off. I'm not too disappointed because I feel like Spurs have a slip up against a small team. Because even under Conte, they've had good performances. Even against Liverpool, they were actually really good and just unlucky not to win that match. Chelsea, yeah, different story there. But again, Chelsea's a team that's struggling as well. So I mean, maybe they're not a top opposition. So, I'm banking on the fact that Spurs will slip up again. Like a team like Burnley is going to come in, get a crucial
Uh,
point or a crucial
you
win
you
against
mean to
them.
say Spurs will be Spurs? That's what you're
Yes,
saying.
yes,
Yeah.
that's what I'm hoping at least, definitely. But yeah, let's talk about the match that really was weird going in because there was a lot of confidence going into the match. I mean, we knew we were the better team at that point, but running into some really good form despite the start to the new year. But still, this was the team that beat us on the opening day and were actually comprehensively better than us on that opening day. Then again,
It was a different side. I
yeah,
mean,
that's
yeah,
what I like. Then again, we had Aubameyang leading the charge. We did not have Ramsdale in
Ramsdale
goal. We did
or
not
Ben
have
White.
Martinelli. We did not have Ben White. I think Tomiyasu did start that game, but he was just about getting into the new team. So uh, there were a lot of moving parts at that point. So a much more settled Arsenal side against a Brentford that arguably are in some sort of danger. Let's talk about that first. Do you see them getting sucked into a relegation scrap all of a sudden?
I know they are 14th on the table, but a few results here and there, and they could be below. But the advantage that Brentford have is they have some points on the board. They aren't just above because of goal difference or something of that sort. They do have like 24. Yes, they have 24 points on board, while the bottom three are yet to cross 20. So until Brentford have like 3, 4 more losses back to back, I don't think it should be a problem for them. I think they might just about survive, and which is what they really want to do this season because you once you're promoted, the first intention is to survive the season that you've promoted and then build up from that.
Yeah, they must. And again, Ericsson's yet to play for them. They must be really, really hoping now that when he does come in, he does make a lot of difference to that team because all of a sudden it seems like their attack has just collapsed. I mean,
Withered off, it just withered off.
yeah, and it seems like Thomas Frank is kind of feeling the heat a little bit despite that early start. He sees a trend forming which doesn't necessarily see Brentford uh, having it quite as easy as most people thought after the start they had. Um, so
Not
really hoping.
having not having Ivan Tony is a problem for them because he's been their main man.
Yeah, definitely.
If you
But I
look at
mean,
it,
Mbuemo had a great start to the season. Mwepu is another good player. Nordgaard again. They have. It's sad that they have a decent squad and it still hinges on one player really performing for them. Um, I mean, that's again, if we can get him on a cheap, that would be my pick for. for a striker going into next
We'll
season. He
need
is that good.
we'll need two forward options for
Yeah.
sure, because it's going to be three who are going to be out. Aubameyang, who's gone already,
Hmm.
and Nketiah and Lacazette.
Yep.
And I don't think the latter two are about to sign anything new. So it
Yeah,
has to
and
be two strikers. So
that's
Tony could be a very, very good shot.
that's a good segue into issues persisting. Lacazette doesn't score again today. Um,
But he provided the assist.
he
So
did provide the assist. I mean, that's the part of his game that's still quite vital, and I think that's why he's still getting that first team action is because he still does a lot of off the ball work and he does contribute creatively quite a bit. But again, at least two very decent chances fell to him that he wasn't able to convert. And again,
right.
arguably there was some good defending in there, but you have to be putting those up. We had to rely on two absolute screamers. I mean, Emil Smith Rowe. I was worried about him going into this match because I was not too happy with his substitute performance when he came on at our last against Wolves. But boy, that what a run, oh, what a shot, what an
He changes the
absolute
game.
beautiful goal. Yeah.
He's always brought that in him. He's always brought that game-changing moment with him. I thought Odegaard could have also finished his shot better. Maybe he could have dinked the keeper, because at that point in time the keeper was almost on the ground, so
Mhm.
could have gone for a dink. Maybe it was because of his weaker foot or something of that sort that he didn't attempt the actual shot. But both our goals came from the left, if you noticed. Even Saka
Yeah.
scored from the left. So
I'd say Saka was
I,
more of like through the middle that way, but yeah, he took it down on the left
he
before
switched flanks with Pepe, right?
before he made the shot. And
Mhm.
again, it still kind of goes to the same product. We still needed to rely on some quality finishes as opposed to some, really well constructed, easy goals. So we're still having issues getting those balls into the 6 yard box and having an Arsenal player touch that ball into the net. So
And thank God for Saka. Thank God for Saka. Otherwise,
because
we would have not had those 3 points.
that was really, really nervous at the end. I mean, we defended really well all the way through, and I think that was just a sheer moment, like a last lapse of concentration. I would like to believe that if we were only 1-0 up, that would not have happened. It kind of was the 2-0 up where we were like, yeah, we kind of won this match. And then it's suddenly like, that was,
Exactly.
yeah, in a match where Arsenal were by far the better team for the entire match, it's still funny that the last 3 minutes was still so much, so much tension.
I thought we could have um, uh, got our got our 12th clean sheet, to be very honest. This was, I'm just pissed off about the goal because, okay, yeah, we did get those 3 points, but that clean sheet would have mattered more, is
Especially
what
in a
I'm
game week
thinking.
where all the top keepers conceded.
Right.
Everyone conceded. I mean, I guess Chelsea didn't concede, but uh,
They're not up there yet.
they're not up there yet in those terms. Um, so this would have been a good kind of another confidence booster for our defense going into that, going further into that season. So I agree with you. I was kind of ticked off when it got so scrappy and when it just led to like just a nice simple open shot on goal. But I'm hoping that was just like a momentary lapse, and should bounce back from it quite well, quite easily. We have another home game as well against again returning
Same
opposition.
opposition.
Yeah, so that might be. We need to hold on to that sort of composure right now because Wolves, I mean, they don't score many goals, but they
I
don't
hope we
concede
don't
many
have,
goals either. Yeah.
yeah, I hope we don't have Michael Oliver refereeing that game again. He's refereed the last 4 out of 6 Arsenal games versus Wolves. Can you believe that? Like, don't you have anyone else? Don't you see that is a cause of a problem? That's a cause of bias too. I'm also like pissed off about the fact that why should I know which referee is officiating which game? I don't want to know his name, but it's become such a game or such a league nowadays that you know every other referee's name,
And
which
it matters how you play in the game depending on who seems to be refereeing, which I get some of it because some referees like to keep the game flowing, some referees tend to be nitpicky, but it shouldn't be to the point where you expect a ridiculous decision to be called against you. So we already touched upon that a lot on that double red against Martinelli, so he'll be back up. And that's again, it's almost, and that actually brings me to my last point that I want to really discuss is that Martinelli will be back for the next match. Given that generally, even in the absence of Lacazette, we have a lot of creative players, would you recommend putting Martinelli up front? I mean, Emil Smith Rowe is in spanking form. I thought he was not, but he's clearly shown that he's still got it. He's still probably struggling with a little bit of fitness still, but otherwise on the ball, off the ball, doing really well. Saka, brilliant as always. Odegaard, fabulous on the ball. Some great passing in there today. And Martinelli, the only reason he didn't start today was because he was suspended.
Yep.
Given that
I think,
situation, do you think
yeah,
Lacazette deserves to be dropped for that next match?
I'd say Lacazette peters off after 60. Anyway, he's not completed a full game in what, eons, I guess. So maybe start off with Lacazette and sub him off at halftime or something on those lines. Because, okay, Martinelli is also getting his rest while Emil gets back to his game time. So it's a win-win for both of them. But I want to see how Martinelli does uh, take up the challenge of being the number nine or being the
But
focal point of the
yeah,
attack.
I wondered, but like when a player is on form, do you really want them to rest if they don't need to, right?
Uh, I would really want them to, because March is going to be difficult, and I'd much rather have that hunger, that desire in the entirety of March rather than this next game. I'm okay with Tomiyasu not playing the next game as well, because I want him for March. February is almost over for us. Like,
Mhm.
we just have one more game that's on a Thursday. That's 4 days away, or 3 or 4 days away, whatever, however you want to calculate. After that, we are not playing in February. So, much rather not play Tomiyasu again, give him that rest too, allows him to recover fully, and he can be fit for all the games in March.
I do feel that's overprotective, though. I mean, Arsenal have been guilty. I mean, Arsene Wenger has been guilty of that in the past. Is over resting players, giving them too much time off the pitch, which I do believe sometimes can harm a player, especially if a player has seen some good form. You'd think they'd want to keep playing more and more. Of course, there's the idea that you definitely want to manage their time. You don't want to have them
Right.
running 90
Run them through the
minutes 3
ground.
days a week. Uh, but I do genuinely believe that if your player is playing well, just let them be out there, let them play, let them do their thing, and once they have given what they can on the pitch, then take them off, give them some time off, and give them some rest. I would genuinely like Tomiyasu to start against Wolves because um, again, Cedric has been fabulous. Like this has been a great sort of cameo for him, and I mean that's been
True.
this case. Like Holding was great too. Callum Chambers, even before he went, like the few matches that he did, step in was great. So this has been like a really good performance by our backup options. Um, but this is the last match. Like same rationale. This is the last match that we're gonna play in February. We'll throw Tomiyasu in there, let him get the full 90 because he's going to have ample time to rest after. So if he's a better option than Cedric, if he is generally playing in a better way than Cedric, I'd definitely push for him to start. Uh,
Definitely.
but yeah, that was our look at Brentford. Arsenal versus Brentford, the revenge match. How the tables have turned. I do hope Brentford make it through, though. They've been great to watch. Thomas Frank is a great manager. But I also do hope that if they somehow find themselves in the relegation scrap and go down, that we go in and swoop Ivan Toney up.
Snatch.
Because he's definitely shown that he's worth playing at the Premier League level, and I think he'll be a great backup option for us. Works really well with the team. He's a very good facilitator, kind of in that Lacazette mold. So he'd probably be a really good replacement. Yeah, that was that, and we'll join you guys again in a few days' time to discuss Arsenal versus Wolves. Also, keep an eye out for our video out on the first round of fixtures in the Champions League that's going to be out soon, and the Premier League recap as we always do every match day. So yeah, take care, like, share, subscribe, and I will see you guys next time. Karthik will see you guys
See
next
you
time.
soon.
Bye.